Hello everyone and welcome back to Destin Business Forum, a television show for members of the Destin Chamber of Commerce. I'm Shane Moody, President and CEO, and glad to be your MC. For our final segment today, it's my pleasure to welcome Will Estell, founder and editor of Beaches, Resorts and Parks. Will, welcome to the show.
Thanks. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, sure thing. And I know that you kind of got thrown into this last minute, and so I appreciate you coming in and us talking about the magazines.
Absolutely.
And about Travel South Media. Which is, I guess, a good segue because that's our first question. Tell us about Travel South Media.
Well, essentially, Travel South Media is a media company that publishes as our primary product Beaches, Resorts, and Parks magazine, of course. And then we do some other products which are mainly in-room magazines for different resorts within the area.
Okay. All right, and it's multiple magazines too, is it not?
That's correct. The Beaches, Resorts, and Parks title comes out quarterly. It's on newsstands all over the country. And then some of the in-room books are actually annual publications that stay within the resorts all year.
Okay, all right. So distribution, you go nationally with Beaches, Resorts, and Parks. Talk about the distribution and what that does for this area.
Yeah, you know, the idea behind Beaches, Resorts, and Parks back in 2012 when it first initiated was that there wasn't really a publication for the area, a lot of great publications in the area, but not one that really emphasized what this area is all about and why people from all over the country should vacation in Northwest Florida Gulf Coast. Right. And so with doing a national distribution, every Books A Million, every Barnes & Noble, Publix, Kroger, H-E-B, a lot of the major grocery chains, we're able to reach those people during their planning stages all over the country, and hopefully they use it as a real planning guide to, you know, decide where to stay, where to play, where to eat, where to shop, all of that type of thing when they come here.
Right, and it probably enhances the real estate market here as well.
Absolutely it does, yes, and we have a special section just for real estate. In the magazine. Yeah,
and it's you could have a tougher place to sell in print too, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the pictures
for sure.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place to sell. The readership of Beaches, Resorts, and Parks. Who is that? What's your target market with readership? And what type of content is in the magazines? We've talked about that a little bit, but
right. So target market really, Shane, is anyone that would either be looking for a new destination for their next beach vacation, or someone who's a returning visitor who maybe they haven't been here for quite a few years, and you know, so much changes within the area from year to year. So we're really looking to educate them on what those things are, what beach town to go to, why they should go there. And we have an upper echelon demographic because a lot of our people that buy the magazine on newsstands, you know, say on the West Coast or the East Coast, a lot of those are not only drive market people, but people who are, you know, buying airline tickets and flying in to get here.
Right, and you go to other coastal communities, you know, say California or maybe the Southeast Coast, and they're used to their beaches there, and they think those are the most beautiful beaches.
Absolutely.
But they look at this magazine and that opinion changes a little bit, does it not?
It absolutely does, and I'll tell you a little short story. So I was at Bud and Allie's Pizza Bar out on 30A a couple months ago, and there was a young couple that, as I was waiting on our food for my family, there was a young couple in front of me, and I was listening to their conversation a little bit, and it ends up that they had actually traveled to the seaside area from Southern California.
Okay.
And so I started talking to them, and I handed them a magazine because I always carry them with, it's kind of habit. I always have them with me wherever I go. And they were just floored by how great the beaches are. And you know, they started talking about they're used to going to Venice Beach, and they had no idea our beaches are, you know, this crystal white sand and the emerald waters. And you know, I hear that quite a bit from people all over the country that if they ever come here, it really becomes their kind of new favorite beach playground, and they continue to come back.
And it's one of those things that pictures make it look good, but it really doesn't do it justice. Your description of it, my description of it, to other people, they just don't get it till they see it in person.
That's correct. And I think a lot of times, you know, being here, we take it for granted because you and I get to see it every day when we're driving, you know, up 98 or old 98, and the people that come from other areas, they're just not used to that. And you know, quite frankly, if they haven't been here before, they've literally never seen beaches like this unless it was in the Caribbean or somewhere.
Right. And even I've been to 8 or 9 islands in the Caribbean. I still think we might be a little bit better than them in a lot of cases.
I absolutely agree with that. Yes.
All right, you got Kenny Chesney on this cover. You guys are lucky you get celebrities and country music stars on your covers all the time. What's the approach? What's it like to work with them and get them to be on the covers like this?
You know, it's interesting. It's a lot of fun for me, honestly. It's one of the things I enjoy a lot about what I do from the writing standpoint of putting the magazine together. We've been very blessed to get some big names, and we've been on kind of a run with Nashville celebrities and country music celebrities, just because it's such an appealing group of people to most people widespread around the country.
Right.
We've got, of course, Kenny on this cover. He's actually the only person that I've interviewed twice, and we've had him on 2 covers. So back in 2015, Kenny was also on our cover. And coming up, we actually have some other people with some strong ties to the Northwest Florida Gulf, and that is Florida Georgia Line. So they will actually be on our coming cover that comes out in April.
And they're here a lot.
They are, yeah, absolutely. And one of the members, actually, Bryan Kelly, actually has a retail store out in the Grayton community, right?
Absolutely, yeah. All right, we've talked about beaches, resorts, and parks. We've only got a minute or so left. Talk a little bit about your in-room magazines.
So the in-room magazines, the premise behind that is something that reaches the people once they're already in the area, where the idea with beaches is to reach them all over the country and bring them to the area. So we currently do an in-room magazine for a cottage rental agency out at Seaside, goes in all the high-end homes in Seaside. We're about to do our first one for the Henderson.
Okay.
And those go in the go in the room. They stay out for a whole year at a time, and they just basically educate the guest on, you know, where to go, where to eat, where to shop, all of that, and then they are filled with advertisements from those places.
Yeah, I just answered a bunch of questions via email for somebody writing an article for the Henderson.
Really?
About Destin, what they need to do and where they need to go. All right, advertisers are important to you. How does somebody that might be flipping through the channels and find us right now get in touch with you?
Well, the website is beachesresortsparks.com, and of course they can find us on the social media. Facebook is just Beaches Resorts Parks, same with Instagram. And then they can call also. The phone number is 256-310-0653.
Okay, slow that down real quick.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
256-310-0653, or info@beachesresortsparks.com.
Great. Will, thanks for being with us, and we appreciate it, and y'all keep up the good work that you're doing.
Absolutely.
In the community.
Thank you for having us.
Sure thing. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us this month, and we'll see you next month.